We're very much focused on like what are contemporary issues for EU diplomats and policy making. So you're really learning the current agenda and legislation. And so trade and climate are like the interlinkings of what is happening now in the EU, where we're talking about the green transition, we're talking about competition policy. And so it all comes together into this trade and climate diplomacy. I was really looking for a way to like promote good policy, and that's why I came to diplomacy. And so EUDIPLO had this combination of like great names, great institutions, and some like more practical courses, and like of course the moving around. And so for me, it really was about how the network, or I was imagining that the network would be amazing. Like regardless of whether I would find the content interesting, I would get to know a lot of people, and I would have like an in into like the diplomatic world. When you're following this course in EU diplomacy, you know that your colleagues are going to be from all across Europe in the future. And so living in all these different cities and getting a real feel for what all these countries represent, and not only in terms of what these people look like when I was studying with them in Amsterdam, for example, but when you're in Italy with the Italians or in Germany with the Germans, it's all very different. And so I think this really gives you a unique perspective on like their cultural backgrounds and how they work and how their society functions. I think we're in like a super unique situation now, and like very much different than when I even applied for a study and started with the study. Like the entire like global order is shifting, and maybe I'm getting more aware of it because I'm studying EUDIPLO. But when you look at what's happening in the US now and how they might be changing the way they feel like they should be leading the Western world versus a year ago, these are huge shifts, and we're seeing this like increasing trend of deglobalization. And Europe is talking about how we can still compete with the US and China while we're in a lot of senses like far behind. And so we're playing this game of almost catch up in a lot of sectors. I think with the Draghi report that came out last year, recently at least, we have made our first steps, and we're putting our eyes more on how we can keep up. But it's important for Europe that we stay authentic to our values and what we see as our future. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like Europe has a lot of soft power, and we can leverage that, and we should utilize that to tackle all the issues, but we're very far behind in hard power and staying competitive.